Guys, and welcome back for a new review. Today we're going to take a look at the new Captain America from Marvel Legends, the Red Skull Build-A-Figure wave. You'll see that unfortunately there's a gigantic sticker, but I'm still going to give you a quick in-package shot of the figure. As much of it as you could see. This is a pretty controversial one. A lot of bad reviews I've seen. But I'm going to give you my thoughts on it. Taking a look at the back of the packaging of the figures in the wave. And a quick read-up of Captain America. You can feel free to pause and read that. So I'm going to go ahead and crack this open and give you guys a better look at Captain America. Alright, and here he is, open and out of package. Just going to give you a 360 view of the figure. In case you haven't been able to tell from the past several reviews, I'm trying to put together a pretty classic looking Marvel Legends shelf. Classic in that pretty much the most iconic looks for each character. I've picked up Marvel Legends throughout the years, very randomly, but it's only until this year that I decided to actually focus on them, make a collection. So that's why this cap is now on my shelf. There's been a lot of Captain Americas out there, and none of them really appealed to me. I know there's some issues with this figure, but I think there's more right with it than there is wrong. But let's just quickly go over the articulation before I go into any more detail. So the head can look down that far and up that high. So pretty decent. There's no butterfly joint again on this figure as well. Arms are really stiff. Probably get it out a little further, but I don't want to push it. The upper bicep swivel is fine. Double jointed elbow. A swivel and hinge at the wrist. All the joints on this guy seem really tight. The ab crunch is pretty good. One forward and one back, which is good enough. And also the paint goes pretty far up. And also on the back. So that's covered. There's a waist joint that is hidden a bit by the belt, which is good. Legs can go forward and out to about that far. Upper thigh swivel, double jointed knees. There is a hinge at the boot, but it's really tight. You can see it does move. Also hinge and pivot at the boot. Okay, in terms of accessories for Captain America, he comes packaged with these gripping hands. Basic red paint on him, matches the uniform good. No complaints there. It does come with a saluting hand. I do like that. He does come with a pointing hand or Hulk smash hand. Really good hand choices for him. Then the very infamous shield holding straps, which are meant to go over the figure's shoulder. I'll show you those shortly, but they're horrible. Moving on from that, cap shield. This one here really is kind of basic. There's nothing really too special about this one. It's a dark red, a little more burgundy than the red of the figure. And not much detail, nothing on the back. It does have that flip joint, so you could plug it into his back or clip it to his wrist. It's a good feature, but the shield is pretty basic. But it does get the job done. And then to another controversial accessory, which is the wolf cap head. Taking a closer look at that. It's really good detail on this. It's actually a really good sculpt. Teeth are painted really well. No scrapes or scuffs on this particular sculpt, so I do like that. Nice tattered look to the mask. And I guess while we're here, let me pop off Cap's head so you can get a closer look at that. And then the Captain America head does have a sculpted A on it, which I do like that. It's got the wings. I like that as well. The paint is clean. You got the yellow eyebrows just poking through the top of the mask. And the ears are sticking out of the mask. I think it's a really good sculpt, actually. Some people had some issues with it, finding it boxy. Maybe it is, but this is a pretty classic looking Captain America, and I do think it works pretty well for that. Okay, in terms of size comparison, here Cap is next to Wolverine, which he's a lot taller than, and the Punisher, which he's slightly taller than. He does fit in pretty well with the rest of the Marvel Legends in that regard. Do like that he's a little taller than Punisher. You can tell his bodies. You see where his shoulders lay, and it's kind of a close one. But putting them head to head, you can see he is slightly taller and a lot more bulky. I do like that. That looks a little too close for comfort. But this is the first Cap they've done on a bigger and bulkier body. Another win for this, because I do like to see the Captain America be a little bigger than your average Marvel Legend build. So let's talk about those straps. These straps go over his shoulders to simulate holding on the shield. Biggest problem is they don't actually hold the shield on, and they just fall off. Really bad design on that. They should have, in my opinion, did the strap and simply connected it in the back with a continuation of the strap going across, and that would have resolved the issue. It would hold on no problem. But that is definitely a poor design and not well thought out. Alright, let's talk about that Cat Wolf head. So, I don't mind that they included this. I actually don't mind the head sculpt. I think it's really cool looking. They mixed it up, made it a little different. They really should have given the wolf hands to go with it as an interchangeable part. One of the things with collecting Marvel Legends, I mean, the problem that I have with them, and I understand why they do it, it's the Build-A-Figure. You know, with the Build-A-Figures, you could get people to buy figures they don't want to build a bigger figure. It's a marketing ploy. I get it. I don't like it. As you can see, I'm building a classic Marvel shelf, so all those Build-A-Figure parts, and by the way, Cap came with this part. This is the back part for some Build-A-Figure, the Red Skull Build-A-Figure, which I'm never going to end up building. It's a nice marketing ploy, and I get it, but save the plastic and give us something that we want for the figure that we bought, that we chose. Not everyone's going to buy the random figures that are in the wave just to build a figure. And I've got, just in collecting the past couple of months, a bunch of parts that I'll never put together. Some of the Build-A-Figures are really cool too, but do I really want to spend an extra $60 or $80 on a bunch of figures I didn't want just to get one I did? Again, for me, no. For some of you guys, I can understand going forward with it, and maybe you guys may have more interest in the more obscure characters, but I don't. And I say scrap it. Give us a display base at least, and drop the Build-A-Figure parts. You know, something. These guys got peg holes on their feet, but there's no display bases. There's not even a pack that you could buy to put these guys on display. And most Marvel Legends collectors buy a lot of them, display them in cool poses, and they're always at the risk of falling over. So, I don't know. Just my 2 cents. So, final thoughts on this Captain America. Overall, I think it's a really solid release. I like the size and bulk of the body. Could have used the butterfly joints, but not too big a deal. The wolf cap head, without the hands is a half-assed effort, and then the straps for the shields are awful. Bottom line, that's a bad design. But the bottom line is, this is still a really good classic Captain America. The Buccaneer style boots and gloves, really classic, solid colors in the uniform for a very classic Marvel looking Captain America, and I do like him for that. I think it's a pretty solid cap. You guys out there might have 10 or 15 Captain Americas in your collection, so this guy was not too well received, but for me, looking for a classic setup for my Marvel shelf, he fit in perfectly. Execution wasn't the greatest, but the bottom line is we do still have a pretty good Captain America here. And that's it, guys. Thanks as always for watching, and until next time.